Okay, as far as we were talking about your prices, and I know you said your prices are up there with pretty much the higher end people. How did you go about pricing when you first started, and then how did that
Yeah,
evolve until now?
it's a great question. So when we
And you don't
started,
have to give specifics if you don't
yeah,
want to.
no,
Just
I
yeah,
don't, I don't mind at all. So when we started, we had just come out of school in Arkansas, and the area was like one of the lowest income levels in the country. So that's what we were kind of used to with clientele. Clientele was like they wouldn't want to pay $50 for a photo shoot.
right,
Nashville 500 is pretty common, like pretty like baseline. So it was a big like kind of shift for us to understand the value of the dollar in Nashville versus Searcy, Arkansas. And when we started out, our prices were like basically our prices were too low for people to hire us. And it sounds completely counterintuitive. You would think, oh, these people have low prices and they do great work. Let's hire them. But the thing is, when you have a high budget wedding that's like a $200,000 wedding, they've already budgeted in like 10 grand for photo video. And if they see someone who's charging 2,500, they assume that the level of quality of the products, the service they're going to get is $2,500, and
right,
they assume if they hire someone for 10,000, the service is going to be way higher, like a higher quality. So it
right.
was just kind of a learning over time of finding. We were charging like 2,000 or 3,000 or whatever at first for like both of us, and getting and eventually people started booking us, but they were just they weren't high end weddings. They were
Right.
people who had budgeted that much, which is okay. And we did a lot of those weddings, but over time we realized, okay, these aren't like the highest budget weddings, and we would kind of raise our prices a little bit because at one point we would, we'd be booked so much that we had no free time. We're like, okay, let's raise our prices, take fewer weddings, do less work, but make the same amount of money. So we
Right.
did that. And then we still got booked out. We're like, okay, let's raise them again. So we did that, and we still got booked out. So it's just a process of kind of over time raising them to a level where your your workload is as high or as low as you want it to be based on
Right.
your pricing. And so I think now we found a sweet spot. I think recently may have charged like slightly a little more than what is sufficient for the number of clients we're trying to get. So that's like the perfect point to be at. So
Wow.
yeah, it's just been a trial and error. And when we move to Colorado, we may have to kind of adjust them to meet the market and figure out where it is again. And the other thing about what we do too is like our starting price will be listed on our website, and that weeded out a lot of inquiries we would get. So before our starting price was listed, we might get 20 or 30 inquiries, and like 3 or 4 people would book us because the majority of them we were out of their price range. As soon as we put the starting price on that, our inquiries dropped from like 30 to like 10, but we would book 6 or 7 of those. So
So you were converting better
yeah,
without having to go through those,
exactly. Yeah, and we weren't wasting time responding to people who would ghost us or like, hey,
right.
can you lower your prices? No, like that whole thing.
So
So
you
yeah,
were pre-qualifying essentially.
exactly. Yeah,
Dude, that's beautiful, man. And
yeah.
was there any like mental shift that had to occur? I mean, you go from charging 3 grand to 10 grand in a wedding. Was it just kind of discovering your worth or what you could get?
Yeah, it was at first starting out, it was like we were just so thankful for any work we could get, any money we could get. We're like, this is awesome. And
Right.
then as you do it for months and months and you're grinding like nonstop, you realize, oh my gosh, I'm tired. Like I need a break from this. Let's, charge more. And then over time, as you get paid, like 4,000, 5,000, you're like, okay, like that seemed like a big thing. It was like, dang, that's a lot of money. But then as you get it and you realize the worth and the value and the money, the time you're putting in to get that payment, you're like, okay, this is worth it. I'm going to raise it a little bit and just kind of keep bumping it up incrementally.
Thanks so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like for me, and also leave me something down in the comments section. If you'd like to be notified from my future videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you don't miss anything. If you'd like to watch this podcast in its entirety, there will be a link in the comment section and the description to the full version of the podcast.